Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of the Survival Series, and we just went ahead and built this cactus farm, and I'm kind of debating on having put it right in the middle of the base like this. And something that's a little bit weird is if you take a look at the map, it's a perfectly black spot. I really don't like how that works. That's the stained glass on top of this thing. It's kind of a permanent fixture now, but yeah, we needed cactus really badly because we need the green dye, and we can make cyan out of that as well. And cyan terracotta was one of the things that we needed to finish the iron farm, which we're not going to be doing today, but we will be starting a new project. This thing is something that we started building last episode, and I have completed the design for this thing. If you're unfamiliar with this build, this is a library, which we're going to be putting in some villagers, and we'll also be storing all of our enchanted books. So this will be a pretty important build, and by extension, a pretty big one as well. I've actually already gathered up the resources for this build, so let's just go ahead and take a look at this. This is a little bit ridiculous. Some glass, stone's easy to make. This was a little bit of a pain. The tuff is just tough to mine up, but here's where the pain starts. Yeah, smooth quartz slabs, and this one's even worse. We have more of the slabs, and we have these stairs and pillars. It took hours to get this. It would be interesting to take a look at our statistics here. Let's go ahead and look at the number of things that we've crafted. Block of quartz, yeah, 3,500 quartz. This is like 55-ish stacks. Anyway, I shouldn't complain too much about this. Let's just go ahead and take these materials with us, and we'll start building this thing. Here we go. Oh man, that was a ton of building. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've done so far. And there it is. Of course, you did see this in this time lapse, but still, from this angle, it looks pretty massive. It was a huge amount of work though. I think it actually took me 2 or 3 hours to build this thing. Just a lot of different like stair orientations and details. And there's not really a good entrance to this place yet. We just have this path. I guess I'll do something about that later. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look inside and see what this place looks like. And there we go. So this is the one wing. This is duplicated over on the other side as well. So we have this enchanting area on both sides just for convenience sake. Over here, we're going to have these little booths, which we're going to put our villagers in. These booths fit 15 per side, so there's 30 here, and then 60 if you count the other two sides. Then over here are the book storage areas. So we have 40 different types of books. I actually came up with this organization system on the fly, but I actually like it. On this side are the weapons, enchantments, and then the other side are the tools and armor. We only have 5 columns, but it seemed to work out pretty well. So yeah, folks, that's pretty much the layout of the place. I've also gone ahead and put in these buttons right here, which you might not have noticed. These are for... There we go. That was a little bit long delay, but that's for the ender portal in our base. So we can now travel well, not really instantly, but theoretically instantly to our base. So every villager trading system has these cages where we get, we trap villagers and trade with them, but they can't really move from their position. You've probably never seen a cage like this though. So this is actually a design for a cage that I came up with, which actually requires the villager to sit in a minecart. I did some tests off camera, and it's a little bit more tricky than I realized it would have been. But the benefit of these cages is we don't have to put any blocks above them, and it's really clean. This is pretty much how it's going to look on the outside when it's finished. So there's actually something pretty interesting about how these librarians and villagers in general work, is when you put down the profession block, every one of their trades and stuff are just determined at that point. But if you don't actually trade with them, then they're not locked to that profession. So you can delete the profession block if you don't like the trades that they have. This is especially useful for, oh my goodness, they're gone. Oh, never mind. I think my entity distance is set. Yeah, that's set down a little bit. But yeah, that's especially useful for our librarians because we can determine what enchantment they have. And then if they don't have the enchantment we want, then we can just delete the profession block. And this actually works because the weighting of the professions, the enchantments, is the same for each level. So they don't have to be a master librarian to get things like mending. At least that's the theory. This one's not even telling me what trait he has. Oh. We crashed. What? So it turns out that was actually a bug with Item Scroller, which really sucks because Item Scroller is a really good... Ooh, Fortune is a really good book too. Get in the boat. Thank you. Now we can box this guy off. Dang it. Get the blocks. Stop. Ah, dang it. Okay. All right. Stop. Stop. Okay, there we go. We got one guy. All right, so I don't know if I kept it in the edit, but I was tinkering around with trying to get this to be automated, and it seems like it's not really working. So here's what I'm going to do. So I've trapped a villager here. He's a regular unassigned villager. I don't know what you call those guys. And we're just going to assign him a role with his lectern. You should be able to see this. Actually, it might be a little bit easier if we put a trap door. Then we'll get rid of this. And pretty soon here, that guy should convert into a librarian. Pretty soon. Yep, there we go. Okay, so now we can check his trades, and if he doesn't have the right trade, we can delete this thing until he gets something that we like. All right, folks, for the sake of my sanity, I think I'm going to go ahead and quit doing work here because, well, I guess you'll see. So we started to get some villagers here, and we have a lot of librarians. These guys are all selected librarians. They have like good enchantment, Silk Touch, we got Respiration 3, we got Fortune, all that kind of good stuff. I think there's a couple of Infinity guys. Ooh, Cursed Binding. I don't know why I kept that one, but anyway, over here is the meat and potatoes. The meat of the meat and potatoes. We have the mending books, 3 of these guys. I guess I could have gotten more, but we started running into some issues. This is a really complicated system that I ended up putting together. I probably just cut out all of the video. The way this works is we get a minecart to pick up one of these villagers. Okay, so now that that's loaded in, we can go ahead and close that loop, and then yeah, if we open this loop, it'll send them up into the holding cage, and then the minecart will come back. And yeah, that's basically how this loading system works. Let's see. I do want Silk Touch. We'll trade one item with him. Doesn't really matter which item we trade. Now that we've traded with him, the Silk Touch enchantment is locked in. And now we can flick this lever, which moves him over a little bit, and then we can make a minecart, put him right here. That will pick him up and put him into this loop, and we can choose where to send him to. Now he's mixed in with everyone else, and I'm going to have a heck of a time getting him out of there. Anyway, once we've done that, we can go ahead and load in another villager. Now, the part that took the majority of my time here and it was really difficult to try to figure out was basically how to get this guy to turn into a librarian. Because you'd think that putting the lectern here, yeah, this guy should turn into a librarian. If you're a technical player, you might think, well, this guy didn't sleep, or maybe it's the wrong time of day, or you know, any number of factors. Maybe this thing is out of reach of him. Maybe this trapdoor is in the way. Those are all the easy answers you could possibly come up with. But I guarantee you, this guy can access this thing. He can see it. He's just he doesn't want to get this thing. And it's really difficult to explain what's going on here, but I think, as far as I understand, that one of these guys, probably this one right here, who's looking at me funny, has already targeted this lectern. So he's claimed it, and now this guy cannot. So basically the whole time I've been like placing down lecterns and deleting them and placing them back again. Yep, there we go. That just worked on the first try, but we just sorceried the heck out of it. Basically, we've retargeted this guy's lectern to this one, I believe, or maybe it was this one. You don't actually know which one it is. It's any lectern in a 50 block radius could be his. Anyway, so now we have multi-shot. I don't like that, but whatever. Can go ahead and break it in place again, and ta-da, doesn't work. Normally this would cycle his trade, his profession, but I think it got claimed again. So we have to basically delete all the lecterns. He's trying to target this one, so we have to delete this one. And there we go. Yeah, sometimes I ended up having to like place a stupid amount of lecterns over here. All of these lecterns, the whole purpose of it is just to retarget every single one of these guys. Like even these two guys are bound to these two lecterns, even though they're not, they don't have professions. Oh, and by the way, you can see that my the price for everything is like stupidly high. That's because I've accidentally killed one of the villagers, and yeah. Also, you can see this iron golem is, yeah, he's aggro at me. So the village, technically, the village cluster over there really hates me. Anyway, folks, we got a really large amount of stuff done today, huge amounts of building and lots of technical stuff, and I think it's going to be hard condensing it all down to one episode. But anyway, we need to wrap things up for today. Next episode, we're not going to fix this issue, I don't think. We do need to get some mending armor, mending gear, and all that cool stuff, and we probably put some villagers into these holding pens, and just so that you can see what it looks like when it's actually done. But in the future, we are going to build a little pen for breeding villagers and for selecting them. Selecting their trades and stuff. So that should be interesting, but that'll probably be a while from now. Anyway, folks, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.